A creative campaign is a story that is literally invented by a PR agency, planted by a PR agency, and then it grows into a magnificent story which runs across every single media outlet you could possibly hope, and it generates far more reach than you ever could with a reactive or comment piece. I think the best example I can give of this, of a campaign I've been involved in, is a campaign I did for the Hay Festival, which was all to do with having a child name an iceberg. Tied it in with the client by making it about creativity, about encouraging creativity for the young, and also Hay has always had a very strong environmental aspect. So you managed to tie it in with the client. It increases your brand, it increases your penetration. It means that people who may never come into contact with you know who you are. Ultimately, the great thing about creative campaigns is it's an extra latent market. It's a market you would never normally reach. It's a market that's really, really important, and it's a market that absolutely dominates your share of voice over your competitors. We found, when I have run these creative campaigns in the past, it's increased web traffic by hundreds and even thousands of %, as suddenly websites that a few hundred or a few thousand people are using are suddenly being used by 10 or 20 or 30,000 people, all going and looking and seeing who this company are that have run this really interesting proposal, and they're reading the name of your CEO, the name of the people who are giving the quote, and that obviously has a knock-on effect as well of pushing you up the searching rankings. One of the best things about creative campaigns is they are just unbelievably cost-effective. So, for example, the campaign I've been mentioning all the way through with the iceberg ran for zero budget. Most of the time, a creative campaign, your only spend is the time the PR company puts into devising it, and the time the PR company spends on the phone. Beyond that, it's a zero budget enterprise. If a PR company ever comes to you and says, oh, we've got this creative campaign and we need a £10,000 budget for it, then generally it's not really a PR campaign, it's a marketing campaign. Good creative campaigns run at zero budget. I really think that in a return on investment sense, creative campaigns are probably the most effective use of a PR company's time.